Welcome to my channel, everyone. To current subscribers, welcome back. And to anyone new stopping in for the first time, welcome to She Has Plans. Please do not forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons if you enjoy this video and the notification bell so you do not miss any videos that I post. Today is Friday and I will be setting up my paycheck to paycheck budget in my undated happy planner, and all I use is this undated happy planner and my Sharpie pen. So I'm going to move all of this out of the way so we can get started. Okay, so this is the first page and there really isn't too much to say about this. This is a copy that I made, and yes, I don't have thick paper, so it's kind of like see-through, but it is going to, do what it needs to do. And this is for the month of October. I'm going to write my spending plan across the top, the date I got paid, and then the dates that my bills are due, and then I'll come back in with you all. So I don't know if they're having like an air show going on, so you might hear planes in the background or jets or whatever, but these numbers came from, when my bills are due, and I placed them on my monthly layout. Give you a real quick look at the monthly layout. Okay, so this is my monthly layout where I go in and put in when my bills are due, my gas and groceries, and how much I spend on that. So this is where I pull those numbers from, pull those dates from for when my bills are due. And then I just go back in here and I write paid for each time that they actually come out of my account. So let's move this. Okay, so now I'm going to go in here and write down what bills are coming out. And so that's what we have there as far as what bills are to be paid for this paycheck. And then, I forgot to write spending plan at the top. It's my bi-weekly spending plan. And then I'll just grab the whiteout and white this out and change that around. Okay, I usually just white this out because I move the amount over to this side and then plus and minus here. I'm gonna just sit this white out there because I will need that again. Because some of the bills, they do fluctuate, and I'll write total here. And that should cover this page and how this page will look. There's nothing else that I add to it until after the video, the amounts in there. I don't put the amounts while I am filming because you have to work with the numbers that you have. So this is it for this first page, and I'm going to bring in the next page. Okay, so I'm going to use this whiteout, and I'm going to white out savings tracker because that's not what I use that for, and I don't use this for accounts and debts. So okay, so that's what I need to white out. And then I just write in here what I'm using these sections for. This top half is for my digital envelopes, and then I'll write the categories and I'll write over here, and then I'll come back in to talk to you all about that. And so for my digital envelopes, I have my category, budget, spent, and leftover. And then I do tithe, groceries, gas, eating out, self-care, and unbudgeted. If this is your first time watching my video, this used to be my cash envelopes. But since a lot of stores are no longer taking cash, or they prefer you use your debit card, I turned them into digital envelopes, and I use a separate checking account meant specifically just for this money here. I transferred over, well, except for this one. I transfer these over, and I use just this debit card with this checking account to pay for these. This I go ahead and pay before I even pull this out. I already know how much I need to pull out, so I go ahead and pay that, and then I pull this into the separate checking account. It makes it so much easier, and I'm starting to realize, because I have this in a separate checking account, I don't spend as much. I believe when I was pulling the cash out, because I knew I had that cash, I was making an effort to actually spend it. But because I can't physically touch nor see this money, except for unless I go in and check the account, I don't spend as much. So that's real interesting to me, because I felt like, I thought that having the cash on hand and that exchange of cash coming out of my hand would make a difference, and I would try not to spend as much. But it seems like because I have the digital envelopes, I'm a little less inclined to spend, which is interesting. But anywho, and so now on the bottom, this is where I put my future expense funds, and then I'll fill this in, and then I'll come back and talk to you all about that. So for the first time, with the first paycheck for October, let me put my cap on this, I set it up this way so that I could see the category, the starting balance, what I added, deducted, and then the end balance for that category. Because I believe I was only using like the category, what I added, what I deducted, and then the balance. But that was hard to figure out what was going on. Sometimes with these, I actually need to see it through the movements. So this worked very well for me the last paycheck. So I believe I am going to continue it this way. I know these don't line up perfect, but I do not use this first line. So that works out, and I can just, go down and write the ending balance for these. So I'm going to write the categories in here, and go from there. At one point I was writing in what I added. I think I'm still going to do that, and there will be no problem in what I put in each of these categories except for the tithes. So I'm going to do that right now, but I am going to say last paycheck I did skip some categories because they are where I want them to be, and I'm going to do the same this time around. And so this is for these envelopes. I do 150 and I get paid bi-weekly as the bi-weekly spending plan. And so it's $75 each week. Gas is $25 each week. Eating out $40 each week. Self-care is $20. We really don't eat out a lot, so this has been coming in handy, but I have been doing Blue Apron. So I really haven't been using the self-care, but I wrote it in here anyway. I usually just pull this to the eating out so I could pay for the Blue Apron. Yeah. And then this, my memberships are at the capacity that I need them to be at, or at the amount that I need them to be at to pay for all my memberships in 2021. So I probably won't pick this back up until the last paycheck in December, because that truly pays for the beginning of January 2021. So I want to be ahead of the game. And then I probably won't pick Christmas back up until, then as well, the gifts, and hopefully won't have to mess with discretionary until actually in 2021. Doing pretty good with that, not spending any of that. So that is it for the second page. And so I will move this out of the way and grab the next 2 pages. Okay, I have the next 2 pages in here, just one on top of the other, and they're the weekly expense pages. And so I usually just white these out. I guess I'm taking advantage of not spending much because there's not a lot of entertainment we can do in these times of illness. So I'm just going with it. And then I do write in the weeks, and so making sure I'm on this right. And so that is pretty much all I do to the weekly expense pages. And then I do have my last page where I do my summary. So I'll move these out of the way and bring that page in. Okay, so this is the page that I do my spending plan on. And so I was like, oh, just cover up the top half with my nice simply gilded colorful sheet here, because it matches these nice colors over here. And so I just usually put the category here, and I'll put a line, and I'll put the amount over here. And so let's see, I put income at the top. Take a peek. Income, expenses, okay, so I don't know what happened, but I needed to white out that because I need to put future expenses here. So I'm going to continue on. Okay, I usually do end it here because this is the summary and this is the categories, and I do use a zero-based budget. So I take the income minus these categories and it will come out to 0. That just helps me see where, all my money is going, and there shouldn't be much of a buffer left in the account. That's what my discretionary funds are for. So let me bring back in the other pages. I will just keep that covered so it's not all crazy. And so, my first page and my expenses, and then the total of that. And then I'll take my income down here a little bit. I'll take the income minus whatever this is, and then I'll carry it over to the next page so I know what I'm working with once I do this out. Ooh, I did forget, because I do put total here and put the total there, and also, nope, I stopped doing that. Okay, for the future expense funds. This helps me, see how much money I have and what will be going towards like savings and debt, and then to my account buffer. So that, and then the 2 expense sheets, and then the summary. And so, even though I have a spending plan, it is hard to do a spending plan if your spending habits do not change. If you have bad spending habits, having a spending plan isn't going to fix your bad spending habits. It's all about a mind change. Yes, this will help you see where your money is going, but for those who, don't work on a zero-based budget and move their money and shift it so they don't have access to it, this could still, be hard and not curb your extra spending. So make sure you change your relationship with how you spend money. Change your mindset. It's not going to happen overnight, but it will improve as you exercise that muscle to not overspend and to not spend as much, and to have more control over your money. The spending plan will work for you. So I hope you all enjoyed this video, and that was a good little tip that I just gave you. Thank you for watching, and have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Bye.